Hi, I'm Ben Campbell, and this is the pathway to LIV Golf. I live in Queenstown, New Zealand. I love my sort of hunting and fishing and get out on the boat and get out on the sea and things like that. I turned pro in 2012, played a little bit on the Australian tour and then spent many years up here on the Asian tour. I got into golf just out the beach. We had a 9-hole golf course and used to spend summers out there, and Mum and Dad played a lot. They were the ones that got me into golf. When I was young, I never thought I'd be a professional golfer, and it's been amazing. It's taken me around the world. I've met some great people, amazing friends through it, and very fortunate to do what I do. I haven't had the easiest journey. I've had some injuries along the way. I've had a hip operation, labral tear and sort of reshaping of my hip. Before that, got a back trouble and bulged discs and things like that. Since the hip operation, that's fixed a lot of the back issues. It wasn't nice, spending time out of the game, but I think it, obviously made me hungry for it, and I didn't lose that desire to get out here and win, and I think really helped me now and grit down when times are tough and get through it, and obviously that's helped me get to where I am now. My win in Hong Kong, that was very special.
And he's made it! What a performance!
I'd come close a few times earlier in the season. I remember in Taiwan, I had a bad last round and sort of threw the tournament away a little bit. That really sort of taught me a few things and managed to use that in Hong Kong. And yeah, Hong Kong's definitely helped me a lot. Bit of confidence to myself and then to get over the line, up against Cam and things like that. But yeah, that's definitely been sort of kicked things into gear, and then obviously into Morocco last year. Yeah, I've had those injuries and I've got a swing, slightly different. I think coach and physio and everything back home, we found a golf swing that we could sort of do that wasn't putting a lot of pressure on my body, and it just meant that I could be a little bit more consistent. In Saudi, I think I finished 4th. Yeah, I think I needed a 3rd outright to get there, and there was a lot on the line. I'd done what I could do, and you couldn't sort of stew on it for too long. Yeah, it was very nice to get the call from Bubba and then get the spot through that way. Yeah, I was actually having some time off. Manager called and I'd missed a couple of calls from him, and then he was like, "You really need to answer your phone." Yeah, shot up to the house and jumped on a call, and Bubba and Randall and offered me the spot. So I think that was the 30th of December, and yeah, had to shoot back home, pack my bags and head off to the States because I had to be in America on the 5th of January, so it was a quick turnaround. I'd had interviews with Bubba before, so I knew I was in the running. The interview before that asked me a lot of questions, sort of just around, being a teammate and things like that. Asked me a few personal questions, a few things about the game, and I was lucky. I probably had a few people sort of pushing for me to get the spot, which definitely helped, and a few nice people sort of put in the good word, and that it got through to Bubba. So yeah, he just called and pretty much just offered me the spot, and did I want it? So it was a pretty easy yes. The international series it's going from strength to strength. We're playing on some really good courses. You look at Hong Kong last week, we're here in Singapore this week. What a great course this is here in Singapore, and having the LIV players come and play this international series, getting paired with multiple LIV players, and I think it helps being around that, seeing how their games are, learning from them, but also realising that, a lot of the time the guys the way they hit it out here, the way they putt out here is world class. It's easy to think that the guys are so far in front of where you are, where I think it's really good to have them come out, play here, and so the players realise that, there is a lot of world-class players out here playing the Asian Tour, and I think the better golf courses you can play, the better that makes your game. And I think the more we can keep testing the players out here on the Asian Tour, the product's only going to get stronger and produce better and better players. I learned a lot from Bubba this year, just watching him, how he goes about his business. We probably couldn't be more opposite players. I put a lot of things on camera, a lot more technical. Bubba's obviously a very field player. For someone who's done what he's done at his age, I think his work ethic is really impressive. I think certain things, how he thinks about the game, got a great team around him. That was one thing I think being out on LIV is just, how they train and everything like that. Everyone swings the golf club different. You look at Bubba's swing, you look at how Bubba plays the game. He hits his big fade all the time, he can work the ball. He's just really learnt what he does really well. I think spending time around him like that, I just learned a lot from watching him go about his game. Yeah, it's amazing, you know, the Asian Tour getting the recognition with the major spots. It just shows you, you know, what a good product it is. Players with the ability out here to qualify through the majors that way, it's amazing for the tour. For me, I'm still waiting to see if I've got a contract next year. Obviously, sort of didn't quite play as well as I would have liked to last year on LIV. So for me, I'm just in a bit of a waiting game at the moment. But I'd love to, you know, obviously play well here this week, finish off in Saudi really strong for the year, and then for me, it's just a bit of waiting game to see if I'm on LIV next year or back out here on the Asian Tour.